All right, going to talk about Ole Miss quarterback Jaxson Dart. Talk about keys for success for Dart for Ole Miss to avoid the upset against Florida this upcoming weekend. Here in 3-4 minutes, we're going to watch and look at some clips of Dart and look at the type of throws and plays that I think he'll be able to have in order to have success and need to have in order to beat Florida. But before we look at Dart, before we talk about these keys, let's talk about Florida's defense for at least a minute or two. And Florida's defense is coming off their best game of the year, right? They just beat a top 25 team in LSU at home. They got 7 sacks on Nussmeier. They got a lot of pressure on Nussmeier. They only gave up 16 points after giving up, 49 whatever points to Texas the week before, right? So if I'm Florida's defense, you have your Texas performance and the LSU performance. So you want to repeat what you did against LSU and don't come close to what you did against Texas. Florida is second to last in the SEC in points per game and giving up points per game, 26.4. They're third to last in passing yards per game and second to last in rushing yards per game. So it has not been a very good defense, but they are coming off their best game. There is some momentum. They're excited with the young quarterback of DJ Lagway. That can affect the whole locker room. They can kind of start playing better. And one thing that they have been able to do is actually get pressure on the quarterback. They've done a decent job of that. They're fifth in the SEC with 27 sacks. So they've actually done a pretty good job on getting pressure on the opposing quarterback. It just hasn't led to a lot of success. Now, what they did differently against LSU is that they blitzed more than they did against Texas. They blitzed 42% of Ness's dropbacks and were able to get some pressure. So will they blitz against Ole Miss? I don't know. I think they will. I think they probably think that that's a key for success. They just had success blitzing more than they did against Texas, and their Dart is still coming off that ankle injury. So with that said, let's talk about Jaxson Dart. Let's talk about keys for success for Dart to avoid the upset. Now Lane Kiffin and Coach Sark from Texas are two of the smartest offensive minds in college football. They're both elite at scheming open receivers, and Sark was able to scheme open receivers often throughout the whole game against Florida, right? So I think Kiffin will probably aim to obviously follow that. So I think the key is to actually kind of just mimic Texas, essentially, which kind of fits Ole Miss's offense pretty well. Rely on play action, get the ball out quickly, use screens, right? So key number one, if I'm Dart, if I am Ole Miss, I want to get the ball out quickly for a few reasons. One, Texas had a lot of success. That's part of your offense as well. And then just to protect Dart and protect his ankle. Texas was 7 of 7 for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns off screens. So that's my first key. Get the ball out quickly, utilize some screens, see if your guys can bust a long yard after catch type play. Key number 2, utilize play action. Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning combined against Florida were 9 of 12 for 174 yards and 4 touchdowns using play action. And Dart's a lead-off play action. 52% of Jaxson Dart's dropbacks this season are off play action. So he's using play action more than just a regular straight drop back. And off of play action, more than 2,000 of his 3,400 yards passing, give or take, are off play action. He's got 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions off play action. So I'm hammering. I'm double down on play action. I'm trying to get the defense out of position. I'm trying to scheme up open receivers and let Dart rip it downfield and also help protect any potential pass rush. Key number 3, we talked about this in the beginning of the video about Florida potentially blitzing. I want to be good against the blitz. I would imagine they try to blitz because they had success against LSU, blitzing a little bit more than they did against Texas. And because Dart's potential ankle injury, if it's not healed yet, he may not be able to be as good as a runner as usual. If at least if I'm Florida, that's kind of my mindset. Now, maybe I'm wrong. They don't blitz at all and they try to confuse you, whatever, maybe. But be good against the blitz, which Dart has been very good against the blitz so far this season. He has 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions when the defense is blitzing him, 13.2 yards per attempt. So his yards per attempt are higher against the blitz than it is whenever they drop 7 or 8. His completion percentage is 67. So just to kind of recap the keys for Dart, the keys for Ole Miss, at least from Dart's side to avoid the upset, get the ball out quick, utilize screens. Key number 2, play action. You're good at it. Other teams have had success off play action against Florida's defense, so hammer it down, double down. Key number 3, be good against the blitz if they do decide to blitz you, especially on passing downs, third and long. Right. So with that said, we got maybe 4 or 5 clips that we're going to watch of Dart here in a second that hopefully does a good enough job demonstrating the type of throws that we just talked about that he will have to make. And if you are an Ole Miss fan, again, we do a lot of SEC quarterback content, so Ole Miss fans are trying to get more and more Ole Miss subscribers. So if you like this at the end of the video, please subscribe to it. But if you're a Florida fan, we already have or are putting out a Florida video of Lagway against Ole Miss's defense. So go check that out as well. And if you're an Ole Miss fan, go check that video out. We do talk about y'all's defense. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and look at 4 or 5 clips of Dart showcasing the type of throws he's going to have to make. All right, so we're going to look at 4 clips of Jaxson Dart. And again, this is broadcast footage. I have to slow it down, so I do apologize. Not the best quality, but I think does a good enough job showcasing the type of throws he's going to have to make. So the first key was getting the ball out quick. I talked a lot about screens. This isn't a screen here. It's just a quick slant out of the end zone here. But a good example of just getting rid of the ball quick here, getting the ball out quickly, especially if Florida does decide to blitz a lot, right? Okay, so 3rd and 10. This was actually a really good drive by Ole Miss, but 3rd and 10. You're going to see just a quick step back. Ball comes out quickly for Jaxson Dart. So that's the first key. Get the ball out quickly. I use screens as an example from Texas. I think that could be something beneficial, but at the same time, a similar type of outcome. Ball out quickly. Get the ball to your playmakers in space. Let them go and make plays. All right, key number 2, probably the main key I talked about was the utilizing play action. We talked about how good Dart is off play action. Again, 52% of his passes, of his dropbacks are off play action, 14 tutties, 2 interceptions, get the defense out of position. And we see that's exactly what happens here against Georgia. This is the first drive against Georgia. I think I use all clips from the Georgia game. First drive that Dart comes back in from injury. We have motion, little play action, gets the defense out of position and allows a tight end to come open. The linebacker can't recover in time. Good throw there by Jaxson Dart. Nice little, put some nice touch on the ball as well, right? So hammer, double down on play action. We talked about how much success Texas had on play action against Florida. Dart's one of the best quarterbacks in the country off of play action, and so I think you continue to hammer down what you're good at, especially if the defense struggles against. Here's another play action clip. We're going to see it's a deep out here. Let me move myself. So we're going to see quick play action. Doesn't really affect the DBs here. It gets the defenders dropping in, which doesn't affect this throw, but still a good example of play action. Throwing the ball downfield. I love this game. I had a few other clips I wanted to use of Dart, just like showcase his toughness, but we just picked these ones. Also, Ole Miss fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What all do you want to see from Ole Miss? You can talk about the team, Jaxson Dart. But what do you think needs to happen to avoid this upset against Florida, especially with Florida coming off a big win against LSU? All right, last clip we'll watch. This is Jaxson Dart against the blitz. We talked how good he's been against the blitz. Again, yards per attempt, 13 point something, whatever I said at the beginning of the video, 13.2, 13.3, 9 tutties versus blitz, and only 2 picks. Now, there's a blown coverage here, but we still see linebacker blitzing. He's running out to cover someone. He probably should be in the middle, but as quarterbacks, you are taught to just throw the ball where the blitzer is coming from. Replace the blitz with the football. That's what we're taught as quarterbacks, and something that Jaxson Dart has done very well. So utilizing play action, getting the ball out quickly, and then continue to be good against the blitz, especially if Florida does blitz like they did against LSU, especially on those passing downs. So Ole Miss fans, want to hear from you, and also we're trying to get more Ole Miss subscribers, so please consider, if you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We talked a lot about Jaxson Dart. We're just a big quarterback hub, so we're just looking at the quarterback perspective. There's obviously defense, special teams, running back, all of those different parts of the team that contribute to the win. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you like this content, if you're an SEC fan, and like the video, share. It helps us grow. Thanks for following us along. We'll see you next time. Peace.